Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be providing a market analysis update on Hbar and going over my thoughts on the price action. So if you are new to the channel and you want to show some support, please leave a like and subscribe. So I identified this longer term uptrend here in my last video, and I discussed right around this time frame how when we were below it, it was kind of a bearish sign here when we were consolidating below it and holding it as resistance. But if you recall back then, I stated if we were able to reclaim this trend line and start holding it as support, then that would be fine and we wouldn't be in trouble. But we had this rejection here off of this trend line here, and then we had another rejection off of this 20-day simple moving average. And this actually is the red line. The green line is the 21-day exponential moving average. So together they form this nice little band. And you can see how we had some pretty clear rejections off of this level. The first rejection being at 10 cents, and then we came back down and rejected again just under 10 cents. And following that, we had this drop back down to the low around 6 cents. And this was primarily led by Bitcoin sort of dropping down to that low $20,000 level that we had talked about. So in the short term, we're seeing a pretty decent bounce here off of this low. We're up around 19% to the current price action. A lot of altcoins are bouncing off of some key levels. And this blue line here at 6 cents is really an important level because if we go all the way back, we can see how this was the high of August. This was a key resistance area that led to an additional 54% decline and a 155-day period before getting back above this. We also had a key rejection in March of 2020, and really this was kind of the range, the high of the range that we were in for approximately 340 days. So it's a very significant level. We had this consolidation period between 3 and 6 cents, and this was the high at 6 cents for this 340-day period. So we're starting to see some sort of retest of this, and in the short term, it is holding as support. So that is a positive look, but I will warn you, we do not want to see this level lost, because most likely, if we do lose this level and take out this low, then there is a very real possibility that Hbar flips this from support into resistance. And just to kind of give you an illustration of what I'm talking about when I say that, is it would mean something like this, where we come back down, lose this area, and then flip this into resistance, coming back up and rejecting off of it, and sort of trending back down, maybe to this lower range at 3 cents, or maybe to the middle of the range around 4 cents, 4.5 cents. But ultimately, we do not want to see something like this happen where we lose this level here in blue at 6 cents, because it's just such a key macro level here because of how important it was in 2020. This was basically the highs of 2020. We had a little bit of deviations above this, but really we didn't have much action going on because we were in this range, this consolidation period, with the price being capped at this level. And I would argue the massive bull run, the big uptrend really began when we started to get back above this level, because this move up was just going from the range low to the range high. But when we broke above it, that was kind of the sign that we were ready to go off to new highs. And following the breakout of this key level here, we went up 650% in just 57 days. So obviously it's very significant. We don't want to lose it. The positive thing is that we are holding it as support in the short term. I would watch out if we continue to bounce. We have this band of moving averages to look out for as resistance. So we had resistance here earlier on in this month. We had some pretty key rejections here. We don't want to reject further off that because that would put a lot of pressure on this low. So ideally for Hbar, what you would like to see is maybe some sort of consolidation, and then just slowly starting to trend back up and start flipping this moving average from resistance into support. So if price action were to do something like this, I would expect the moving averages to come down and start bottoming out and rounding out and starting to trend back up. And this is what we're looking for, because we want to see price action above the 20-day simple moving average and the 21-day exponential moving average, and holding it as support. Because when we're in an uptrend, it can really be a beneficial moving average, because if I zoom in here to the run in 2021, we can see how, we had constant support off of this moving average, right? We had a key retest of support and a bounce off of this level here in January of 2021, and then we had another test here. This was a longer one. We had, basically we had a lot of candles closing right above this level. It was about 13 or so candles here, just holding it as support, moving up, and then we had, a slight deviation below. We really didn't fall too far from it, so this wasn't too much of a concern. And you can see how, we started to, have some pretty nice bounces off of it. So if I take a measured move of this bounce off of the 20-day simple moving average, from the wick, we had a bounce all the way 270% to this new high. And then we had, following a correction, we bounced off of this to the next high around 128%. And you can see how towards the top the bounces just got weaker and weaker, the final bounce being only 55%, and then we started to basically consolidate through it and kind of trend sideways. So my point is that in an uptrend, we really like to see price action above this moving average because it can hold as support on any sort of correction, and we can see some pretty nice bounces, and really this is ideal for an uptrend and some bullish momentum. And on the other side, we can see some pretty bearish rejections off of it, like this one here that we saw earlier on in this month. So this is what I would look out for. This is what I want to see from Hbar. And to be bullish, then it needs to start reclaiming these moving averages and start trending back up to this trend line. So that's the end of my Hbar analysis. I hope you guys did enjoy. And as always, I will see you in the next one.